Guys, what's up? It's Matt with pffft Gaming, and I just wanted to say, hey, good morning, how are you? It's another beautiful morning here at the pffft office because nobody's in the house and it's really quiet. And I can't tell you, sometimes quiet is nice, but I do miss the noise. Anyways, guys, what we're going to be taking a look at is Gamdias, his new Zeus P1. The Zeus P1 is the reboot. It's a reinvention of the Zeus that exists already. My daily driver, one that I use every day. Since it came out, I have used the old Zeus, and this was a big change to me. When they told me they were announcing something new, I was like, oh man, I don't know how I feel about that. What am I going to think? What is it going to look like? And then the representative I talked to sent me a picture of it, and I remember thinking, oh, you weren't kidding about a reboot. You're trying to take something old and reinvent it is what you did. Now, I was skeptical at first, as I always am. It's sort of like trying to recreate a good old movie. That's not something that's easy to do. But with bold ambition and good vision, you can do it. And they did it with this. The Zeus P1 is now my daily driver, and I have retired my old Zeus, sadly, back to its box to be banished into the case of mysterious corner zone that I'm pointing at. But we want to take a few quick looks at this, and I think that you guys will see that this is actually a really good flagship mouse for under 50 bucks, or right at 50 bucks. I don't know. The market always changes every time I say a price. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now to cover myself because the market is always different no matter what. Let's take a look at this mouse, see what it has to offer. Things like 12,000 DPI, and it's got ABS coding and Omron switches with 20 million click life cycles, and it's RGB. RGB is important to a lot of us that are fancy frilly people. So let's take a look at it, guys. I got it sitting on my desk over there. We'll do some video of it, and I'll talk about some of the specifications, and hopefully you'll find if this is something that you want or not. So let's talk a little bit about the Gamdias Zeus. The Gamdias Zeus P1, that's what I'm reviewing. It's replacing my old Gamdias Zeus, and all in all, this is pretty much awesome. What they managed to do is capture the inspiration that was the original Gamdias Zeus. Now, the original Zeus took a little bit of a learning curve to get used to, but I'm a little bit sad that some of the features are stripped away. However, not that sad because they very, in a bold way, reinvented it to something that I could very easily accommodate myself to, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know. On the old Zeus, we had 3 wheels on the bottom that you could adjust the sides out a little bit, the back out a little bit. You had a lot more buttons to work with that made it a little more easier for MMO gaming, a little bit easier for MOBA gaming, so that you could macro buttons to it, tie buttons that were tied to your keyboard, whatever you use. I used the Hermes. And be able to easily use the mouse as you saw fit. And I really loved that. Now, it took me a minute to get used to the old Zeus, and that's probably why there's been this whole redesign of it for this new Zeus P1, E1, and alleged M1 that's coming out. And I can't say that I disagree with it. It actually absolutely captures the essence of the original Zeus mouse, and I find that to be thrilling in a way. It's hard to explain that because while we've got a more dumbed down, stripped down version of the mouse, it's at the same time very much the mouse that I'm comfortable with. I was able to find the DPI setting that's very comfortable with me, the optimal sensor that they use, which is the 3336. I had actually originally thought it was the 3360, but it's the 3336 by pffft, and it's a very good sensor. A rarely used sensor. I think Rocat used it once, but other than that, I haven't seen it used all that much, nor have I known many people to have any complaints posted anywhere about that specific sensor. But the pffft sensor is a very nice sensor. It's actually rated one of the best sensors and optimal for wireless mice as well. If they ever decided to take the Zeus wireless, I'd probably go with the 3360 if I were Gamdias. However, this sensor it's extremely good. It's just a really comfortable sensor, very pixel accurate, and I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Especially for the price point of this mouse, you're getting some pretty good guts on the inside of it. Omron switches. They're higher resistant Omron switches. I'd say they're probably Omron D switches, non-plunger switches, but I'm not 100% on that without tearing the mouse apart to look at it myself. I'm not a fan of the idea of tearing this thing apart just to look at it. I've sent in a request to know what kind of Omron switches they are, as they have a 20 million click life cycle. There are no switches I know that feature 20 million clicks other than Omron themselves. So we'll take a look at that. I'll post something down in the description once I find out what more we have to look at to understand what the mouse has inside itself further on that point. But all in all, this is a great mouse. From my gaming experience to my editing experience, everything. It's just it's a very obvious upgrade to me, to my hand, while at the same time I miss some things like having the 4 buttons on the side. That's something that's a little sad. We moved to a more modern-esque type normal feel of having the forward and back button there, which are evenly placed. There's a nice dip with great grips on the side, and I'm able to quickly use muscle memory. I say use muscle memory. Muscle memory is something you acquire as you get used to things, but I'm able to very quickly identify what's the forward and back button and use them appropriately as I need to. That's great. I love it. I love that. Absolutely love it. The whole mouse feels great at 125 grams with a braided cable, and they even threw a little cherry on the top of the gold-plated USB like they used to in some of their older mice. That's great too. You don't see gold-plated as much anymore because it's sort of a gimmicky thing, but it's a nice thing to have. Not quite the most important thing to me. It's a nice inclusion to have when you're talking about this P1 Zeus mouse, their flagship mouse for Gamdias. So that's something that's cool to look forward to if you're planning on getting something like this. Now, especially for the price point of $50, because when I was all said and done and I was writing this thing up and I was looking at it and I was talking about all the things I was going to do, I started thinking, this is a $70 plus mouse to me, and Gamdias managed to bring us great hardware inside the mouse, a great mouse altogether with a very innovative feature, which is the twin RGB lighting strings right here. That's just not done anywhere else. Now it's reminiscent of the Chroma Mamba, the Razer's Chroma Mamba, or Mamba Chroma edition mouse, which is okay to kind of emulate that, but they not only emulated it, they emphasized on it. They took it from 1 and they made it 2, and they gave you a little bit more. Now it's an aesthetic thing and not so much a function thing, and aesthetics fall second place to function to me personally, but it's pretty cool and I like that, and I think that it's really cool. It's a nice way to kind of emphasize on the good that you've already made with such a great product. Now again, like I said, at $50, what a great nice mouse to have, and it just accents everything so well, because of course the tower is over there in rainbow mode. I got my keyboard in rainbow mode, and now I've got the mouse in rainbow mode. I've got a whole matching setup, and I'm pretty enthusiastic about that as well. So from an aesthetic point of view, it looks great, it feels great, it feels like a Zeus, it looks like the Zeus. It's very much different from the original Zeus though, but it's good. I don't know a better way to say it. Like, they took the essence of the mouse that I loved so much. That was my daily driver for almost 2 years, maybe over 2 years now. And they were able to reinvent it, reboot it, and make something great. And I have since retired the original Zeus, and this is now my daily driver mouse. I've been using it, I love it, and I would recommend it to people. I would absolutely recommend it to people. I have no problems with it whatsoever. The Hera updates are great. You can go and you can individually select what products you have. Hera will auto-detect, and you go right into it, make the changes you need, save the profiles you need, make the macros you need. You can do all of it. It's so easy. It's so simple now. Gamdias, you're doing a great job coming up on top of all of this, and I've got no other option but to say that this definitely deserves an award from me. While it might not get the gold award because I'm not so much a fan of the depression actuation time. I think that lighter arm run switches, a little less depression needed to make actuation would be great in this mouse. Overall, I think that this is a great mouse, an awesome pickup, and an amazing setup to add to your lineup of high-end, top-tier quality gaming peripherals. I think that this is, worthy of being your flagship mouse 100%, and I'm enthusiastic about it. I'm going to use it, and we'll see if anything can dethrone it now, because I've been waiting 2 years to see if I could find something that I liked better than that, and that includes many things like the Rival 300, the Logitech G's 3, 4, 5, and 6 series. I ultimately, at the end of the day, loved my Gamdias Zeus, and this is the only thing that's coming close. Not even close. This has replaced my daily driver. You take that for what it is, and whatever that means to you, I don't know. I quite enjoy this mouse. I find it to be amazing, and I'm very happy to have it as my daily driver now. Anyways, guys, that's sort of my opinions on what I think. That's some of the technical breakdown of the mouse itself, and I hope that you found it informative. And, leave a like, subscribe, whatever, dislike if you didn't like it. Let me know down below. So real quick recap, we got the Zeus P1, which is their new flagship mouse. I believe they have an M1 coming out, and that's off the record. I don't really know if that'll actually be released. They also have the E1, which is more of an entry version of this Zeus mouse. You have the twin RGB lighting, first of its kind in any gaming mouse. Very reminiscent of the Mamba, the Chroma Mamba by Razer, if you've seen that before, with the strip lighting on it. And other cool things, 12,000 DPI sensor, so that means to me that it's been sort of upscaled, because that Pixar 3336 sensor is more of a, I think 10,800 was the number that Pixar boasts that it'll do, so it's probably a modified version of that to make it just a little bit better, or upscaled resolution. Tracking on it is incredible, and it has retired the king of mice for me. my original Zeus, and I'll be using this. Now, I have a couple of mice that I love to use. I keep my 303, my Logitech G303, with me everywhere I go when I'm traveling, things like that. But this is the mouse for me here at home. It belongs on my desk. It fits. It's perfect. Great job, Gamdias. You did a good job taking the spirit of what the Zeus was and making it a little bit more for everybody. I appreciate that, and it's definitely deserving of the 8/6 Silver Award because it's just great. Anyways, guys, have a great day, night, whatever it is, and I'll see you in the next video that I do.